Muela knives and cold steel. Two knives I've been trying to find a comparison on. Can't do it. I find knives individually, but this one I'm going to show a basic comparison and use of the two blades. There might be other people out there wondering which would they prefer. You go by price, you could go by looks, you could go by functionality, but basically they're all knives. You know, my opinions are my opinions, and I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to say, well, just the way this knife is forged is better than the way this knife is forged, because I'm not out there bushcrafting for a living. I'm not out there depending on this knife to, you know, withstand a certain amount of pressure or extreme use. Everyday use, some fun with it, and I'm just going to go by a couple of blades, or the two blades that I would like to have seen a video done on. First one we're going to talk about is the Muela Pioneer. I purchased this knife over in Barcelona, Spain, and I like it. It's a full tang, as you can see. Solid construction. I chipped it a few times, but I went ahead and smoothed it out. Now, according to this knife here, it's a olive wood handle. It's 10.5 inches overall. The handle's 5 inches. The blade itself is 5.5 inches. It goes to 3/16 of an inch up until you get this false edge right here. It's not sharpened up here on a false edge for obvious reasons, and to tell you the truth, reasons that everybody seems to debate upon. It's a 440C. However, you see on the blade where it's marked is molybdenum and vanadium. So I'm not good on the terminology here, but that's what the blade's made of. It's marked for where it's made in Toledo, and has a nice shine polish on it. I keep a fine edge on it. I think it's pretty sharp. We'll see later of what it can and cannot do, and what I would or would not do with it, or what I learned not to do with it. The second knife I'm going to talk about is a true flight thrower from Cold Steel. It too is 10.5 inches long. The handle's about 5.25, or 5.5 I should say, and the functional blade part is 5.5 inches as well. It's 3/16 all the way around. The handle is paracord, not the original. Now, I bought this blade in the 90s, so where it's stamped under special projects, it's still made in the USA. It's not like the newer true flight throwers. So I've held this knife for about 16 years. I don't keep it as sharp as I do the Pioneer, because it's also a thrower. I use it as a thrower, and because I use it as a thrower, I do not keep it as sharp as I would, because I don't want to hurt myself with it, but it still will cut and it will function. And this is actually the knife I had with me in my first tour in Iraq. Yeah, thanks to Starship Trooper. The last book I read before I went to boot camp, and a pretty decent movie if you enjoy that type of movie. So we'll cut a Granny Smith apple with the Muela. Coming down, do a little sawing motion. That's not what everybody wants to see. People want to go ahead and see how it chops. Goes down, no problem, right? It's an apple, no big deal. Go ahead with the true flight thrower. Cuts an apple as well. Slice. Same thing, no problem. Now we'll try a lemon with the Muela. Smooth. No problems. Cuts to the peel. Use a true flight thrower. A little harsher. Still does the job. These aren't culinary knives, these are outdoor knives. So they're able to cut through the fruit with a peel and without a peel, with little to no effort. Now for the bushcrafters out there, you're going to want to know how it slices for tinder. This Muela, effortlessly, if I can find the right notch, carves into this piece of wood Provided for the right amount of tinder, you will need to start a fire. Push a little on the spine, and you get it going. I have my wrists underneath the camera, so if I slice too hard, I'll knock the camera over. We can do it this way. I just don't like to waste tinder. Now let's see that with the cold steel. Push it with the spine, a little bit of thumb assistance. And without. After tinder, and it leaves my blade dirty, or my apple dirty. No chips in the blade.
What?
Now we come to the question of batoning. I don't believe in batoning with my blades. That's why I have a hatchet or an axe. But in order to try and help out with the comparisons, I will go ahead and do a little batoning. Just to show the quality of the blades. There's actually a very long video on the Muela Pioneer Batoning in the Spanish forest. I'm going to try another angle with the batoning just because I'm in a very awkward position on my knees where I don't have the proper leverage, but I want to get a good camera view for the audience. So we're going to baton again with the cold steel true flight thrower. You can see the blade handled up well. Go again with the Muela. Blade handled up well. What I like doing after all the other tests we've done with it is shaving. See how much resistance I get. The blade's doing very, very well. As I said with the Muela, I would do it with the true flight thrower. It's getting a good shave, but it's not as smooth as the other blade, but that has a lot to do with it being less sharp. Do a little bit of assistance here. And there's the true flight thrower. I'm not an expert, and I would never consider myself to be an expert. I'm a pure novice at blades and their functionalities. Usually I just pick up a knife, use it for what it's for. As I mentioned, the cold steel is an older knife of mine. Had it for a very, very long time. So that's why the sheath it's not in good condition as others, but this is a testament to its use. As I said, I took this on my first tour in Iraq. I was a boat raider, Fox Company 2-1, United States Marine Corps. So this is damage from salt water, Iraq, used in abuse. So I mean, that's a good sheath. Lived up to what it's supposed to. You know, that's over 16 years of owning it. The Muela is pure leather, just like this cold steel one. Has a nice little trademarks on it. Has a good snap. You know, holds the blade firmly in place. Nice, secure, snug fit. But without the snap, comes right out. I do like the loop right here on the pants. To me, it feels separate from the sheath. I know it's attached, but it gives that separation feel. So when you're out in the field and you're doing some cleaning of game or anything of that nature, you keep it snapped and it's readily available to put away and take as you need it. The cold steel true flight thrower. Look at this sheath. What can I say? Been through a lot. I had this blade over 16 years. This has been through Iraq, through the deserts, through a boat raider package, several of them. Being I was a Marine Corps raider, so this has taken a lot of salt and a lot of abuse. What I like about the way it holds As you see in the picture, it was able to fit very slim against my deuce gear, so it could be reached for shoulder retraction. Also, it's a snug fit, so at the snap, it takes a little bit to get the blade out of there. It took some shaking. However, look how well that closure is as well. All these years and all that abuse, it still locks perfectly. Looking at the new Cold Steel True Flight throwers, the review is not on this, but you can just see the difference, and it's even marked China. The sheath is very cheap as well. You know, Cold Steel changed their product for whatever reason. They changed their product. It's not the same. You know, that took me a little bit of a hard time there to reclose it. And I'm sure someone with better dexterity could do so. But you can see side by side the differences of the old original True Flight thrower to the newer True Flight thrower, and then the quality of the sheaths. But that's not what this video is about. Do I recommend a Cold Steel True Flight thrower? Definitely. Can you find another version like this through eBay, private dealers? Maybe an Army surplus store might have it, or Cold Steel might have a stock in a way that they forgot about, and during their next tent sale, it could be available. It's inexpensive. Has a good balance. If I could find a balance point for you on camera, there's a balance right there in between where the handle ends and the blade's about to begin. Decent twirler, slim, nice, good to take anywhere. This has proven itself to me through actual use, but it's not a very pretty blade. I guess what everybody would like to know when you do videos like this is what would I prefer? It's all up to the use. I find the Mueller to be more aesthetically pleasing, but you know, the functionality is the same. You know, my pros and cons are the Mueller has sentimental value to me. You know, I bought it on a trip with my wife for our anniversary, so when I see it, I think of a good marriage. You know, it's skin game with it already. I opened up a large game and cleaned it out, and no nicks or burrs, no messing up on what I need to do when I clean the animals. So it has proven itself in the field. I only had it for 3 months though. It's very sharp and it has a good balance. Yeah, the balance is pretty much right there. So that's what I like about it. Yeah, I find it very easy to twirl around if you're into twirling knives. You know, and it's not an ideal thrower though. But as we see, it does do some of the bushcraft work that I needed to do, being I'm not a hardcore bushcrafter. I'm an everyday camper, if you would. This Cold Steel has sentimental value as well. I had it for a long time. As I mentioned, it survived Iraq, it survived boat packages. It's a good solid blade. It's a great thrower. It's a good beater knife. You know, it has a lot of nicks and burrs in it, but we saw what it could do today. Very, very inexpensive. At the time, I bought it for $20. You know, you could get a Cold Steel thrower for pretty much the same price, but it's not this version unless you find it on eBay or a private seller. You know, they're a little different looking. I own a few of them, and I'll bring one out for a comparison. The Mueller knife cost me 66 euros, so you could roughly say close to 80, 90 American. You can find it online. It's not as easily available in the American market because you got to go through European dealers, or if you're lucky, you might find some American dealers, maybe through Amazon. But I have not seen the Pioneer model with the olive wood handles on any Amazon site. If they start carrying them, that's new to me, but I haven't seen one as of today. You can find these True Flight throwers through coldsteel.com, Amazon, eBay, any Army Navy surplus store, and they're always at a great deal. So these are just my opinions. You'll have your own. You have your own suggestions. That's great. If you have any suggestions for me, I mean, this is my first video. I may have more later. I may stop at this video. Just that I have never seen a video with a Cold Steel product and a Mueller product at the same time and rate. So hopefully this video was somewhat enjoyable, if not knowledgeable, for anyone that's interested in seeing a comparison of a Cold Steel true fly thrower with the same width as a Muela knife. And just keep in mind for what it is. It's my first video. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to read them. You know, it's everybody's opinion, and your opinion counts. Thank you.